Sanbonani. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in again. So I always have one request from you guys. I see when I check my analytics, I see that over 70% of the people watching my videos are not subscribed. So could you be so kind and just hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed? This means a lot to me. Okay. So, I've been getting a lot of requests from people saying they would like for me to revisit the rules of the road again, just to, explain it slowly, because sometimes they feel like on my other videos maybe I'm quick and maybe the screen is too zoomed in and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, it's fine, I'm gonna do it again. So let's hope this then serves you good. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. So I'm gonna start reading here. Okay. The rules of the road are set in place to regulate traffic and ensure safety. So the rules of the road are set in place to regulate traffic and to ensure safety. Safety is very important, okay? It's very important. So that's why we then have the rules of the road. These rules are compulsory, and compliance with these road traffic laws greatly reduces the possibility of accidents, injury, or deaths on the road. Okay. And then, my lovely friends, you get a question on your test saying, what is the most important rule of the road in South Africa? Okay. And obviously, you'll have options. So the option which will always be correct is that the most important rule of the road in South Africa is that you must keep left. So here in South Africa, we drive on the left hand side of the road. So if you are going in that direction, this will be your left hand side. If you're going there, this side will be your left hand side. So the reason why you drive on the left hand side of the road, it's so that to avoid collision. Because there is no way, if I am keeping left and you are keeping left, there's no way that we could collide. You see? So that's the most important rule of the road. And then jumping down to general rules. All vehicles must have a clearly visible and valid license disc, which is 12 months from the date of issue. So the license disc of the vehicle is valid for 12 months from the date of issue. Okay. And then we have the following distance. They say maintain a safe following distance as part of maintaining a clear space around your vehicle. Maintain a safe following distance as part of maintaining a clear space around your vehicle. So this is like this. This is vehicle A. Okay. And then let's say there is vehicle B there. So the distance in which you are following vehicle A should be this distance. We know it as safe following distance. Okay. Safe following distance. Okay. So now the question will come and say the safe following distance is that when the vehicle in front of you suddenly stops, you are able to, then you'll have options. Where you will always go with the option which says that you are able to stop without swerving. If vehicle A suddenly stops, when as vehicle B, you are able to do what? To stop without swerving, because remember, the vehicles are in motion. So it's then not easy to then measure the distance in terms of kilometers or in terms of meters. It's not easy to measure it like that. But if you know, if you can see that vehicle and you then anticipate that if it stops, you will also be able to just stop without swerving. Swerving meaning that driving to the side of the vehicle, trying to avoid colliding. If you are also just able to stop, maybe here, this vehicle has stopped here, you're also able to stop without trying to drive to the side or uh, um, without bumping into it, then you were keeping the safe following distance. Right, and then we move on to increasing the distance. So you increase the distance in which you follow another vehicle when, number one, the visibility is poor, when you're driving in wet conditions, when you're traveling fast, when carrying a heavy load, and when traveling on a loose surface. You increase the safe following distance. Okay. And then you have the mirrors. The mirrors. So you must ensure that all mirrors are adjusted correctly so that you have a clear view. If you need to adjust the mirrors, you may only do this when the vehicle is stationary. You may only do this when the vehicle is stationary. And then after 5 to 8 seconds, glance in all the mirrors to check the situation behind or to the sides of the vehicle. Every 5 to 8 seconds glance. What does that mean? Means that after 5 to 8 seconds you check your mirrors. So but obviously you do not have a timer to then say, oh, it's 5 seconds, let me check. So this just emphasizes how often you should check your mirrors. Okay, so that means you must check your mirrors very, very, very often. When approaching a potential hazard, check in the mirrors in case you need to signal a change in direction. So you are approaching a potential hazard. This is your road, guys. Then let's say there's an excavation here. Kugujiwe mgwaqeni. It's like this. Then you are driving here, facing there, okay? So if you need, you check in your mirrors in case you need to signal the change in direction, because then you will change to drive here. So you check your mirrors and then you indicate if you need to indicate that you will be changing the direction. Okay, and then we come to the blind spot. So before changing direction, turn your head to the appropriate side to check in the areas that are not visible in the mirrors. Those areas are referred to as blind spot. So as you are driving, let's say this is your road, né? This is your road. Your vehicle is here, okay? So your mirror, they are your mirrors of your vehicle. Your mirrors, unfortunately, they show you here, and this one shows you there. This one, which is here, it will show you there. So this is what you see. Where I highlighted with yellow is what you see in your mirrors. You unfortunately cannot see something that is here or a vehicle that is here from your mirror. This, you don't see it on your mirror. So what then do you need to do? You need to turn your head to the appropriate side to check the situation here, because you cannot see that in your mirror. Okay, then you turn your head, and then this area, since it does not appear in your mirror, it is then referred to as a blind spot. So you just turn your head to check that. All right, and then we talk about maximum speed limit. So it is also important to know that a road sign that indicated a different speed limit from the general speed limit guide below takes precedence. So these are general speed limits, these ones. So any road sign that has a different speed limit, that sign takes precedence. You can't say, no, I'm driving on a road that is outside urban areas, so it should be 100. If that road says 45, then your maximum speed should be 45. And then roads in urban areas, the general speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour. Roads outside urban areas is 100, and then freeways, the speed limit is 120. Goods vehicles with mass exceeding 9,000 kgs, it's 80 kilometers per hour. And then a bus taxi carrying passengers that exceeds 3,500 kgs, it's 100 kilometers per hour. That's the speed limit. Sorry. Now moving into going into rules with regards to driving on divided roads. When a painted marking or physical barrier divides a road, always stay on the left of the division. You are only allowed to cross this division if there is an opening or space allocated for this action. Now you must understand that it is a rule violation to drive across a solid dividing marking. You don't drive across a solid dividing marking. You may only drive across a broken dividing marking to overtake another vehicle. So out of these markings, this, and that, you are not allowed to cross it. You may only cross this one. That's the only marking that you are allowed to cross. Riders. So moving on, we have overtaking. Do not overtake if overtaking is prohibited by a road sign or marking. Do not overtake a vehicle that is stopped at a pedestrian crossing. Don't overtake a vehicle that is stopped at a pedestrian crossing. When overtaking a vehicle on the same direction on a narrow road, pass right and keep a safe following distance. Do not drive on the right-hand side of the roadway in the face of oncoming traffic. Do not drive on the shoulder or verge of the road when overtaking. Okay, you don't drive on yellow line when you are overtaking another vehicle. Do not overtake on a blind rise, curve, or any other area where your view of the road ahead is limited. Blind rise. The road is like this. Okay, I fix that. This is your road. So there is a vehicle that is here. You are here. You're trying to overtake here. This is a blind rise because you can't see if there is a vehicle coming here. So this is very dangerous to then try and overtake here because you might meet that vehicle here and then so you don't do that. Okay. Moving on, we have overtaking on the left. If it is safe to do so, you may overtake on the left when, number one, when the vehicle ahead of you is turning right or has indicated to turn right. Number two, when the road is a one-way. Number three, when there is wide enough for two or more lanes for traffic moving in the same direction. When you are instructed by a traffic officer. And then now, you do not cross the yellow left urge line in order to overtake on the left. You don't cross the yellow line when you are overtaking on the left. Don't cross the yellow line. Okay. And then passing oncoming traffic, oncoming vehicles. You may not pass oncoming traffic. You may not pass oncoming traffic. You don't overtake in the face of oncoming traffic. And then being overtaken, this is where I'm reading. Oh, sorry. I'm reading on the last point. When being overtaken, move over safely to the left to allow another vehicle to pass. Do not accelerate until the other vehicle has passed you. So when the vehicle wants to overtake you, you move over safely to the left. You allow the other vehicle to then overtake you. Right. And then we're coming to being overtaken on a freeway. Being overtaken on a freeway. If the driver behind you indicates his desire to overtake by flashing the headlights, signal to move over if it is safe to do so. Do not hog the right lane, even if you are traveling at a designated speed limit. Okay. So, say you are traveling in the far right lane on the freeway. This is the freeway. Let's say this is the far right lane. You are traveling here. Then there's a vehicle behind you that indicates his desire to overtake you. The rule says you must move over to this lane. You allow this vehicle that is behind you to overtake you. Even if you are traveling at a designated speed limit, the speed limit on the freeway is 120 kilometers per hour. So even if you are traveling at 120 kilometers per hour, you must move. You allow that other vehicle to overtake you. That's what the rule says. And then road shoulders. Here we're talking of the yellow line and the white line. You may not drive on the shoulder of the road to the left of the yellow edge line or to the right of the white edge line. But there are exceptions. Exceptions is that you may drive to the left of the yellow edge line to allow another vehicle to overtake if it is a single lane roadway. Now, this is a single lane roadway. If it is a single lane roadway, then you can drive on the yellow line to allow another vehicle to overtake you. But you do this if it's in between sunrise and sunset, if it won't endanger any road users or property, if you can clearly see any person or persons, vehicle or vehicles for at least 150 meters ahead. Okay. Then now we talk about the dedicated public transport lanes. Do not drive in a lane dedicated for public transport or rapid transport vehicles from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Monday to Friday, except public holidays, or unless you are driving a permitted class of vehicles or vehicle. Now, 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., 4 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. Those are peak hours in the morning and in the evening. You are not allowed to drive in public transport lanes or rapid transport vehicles. You're not allowed to drive there. Now we come to traffic lanes. You may not enter or cross a road or traffic lane if your vehicle is likely to cause a dangerous situation or obstruct traffic flow. Do not cross into a different lane unless you can do so without obstructing or endangering other traffic. Safety is very important. So if you see that you will obstruct or cause danger to the traffic, you should not do that. Then we come to traffic circles. We have a roundabout and a mini circle. Roundabout, you get it in bigger roads. Mini circle, it's mini. You get it in a series of T-junctions, or we can just say in smaller roads. So, at a roundabout, you must yield right of way to all traffic approaching from the right unless there is a road sign or traffic officer instructing otherwise. At a mini circle, give way to any vehicle that will cross or has crossed any yield line before you, and you must drive clockwise around but not over the marking. So any vehicle that crosses the yield line, that is the yield line. Any vehicle that crosses the yield line before you has a right of way, and you must drive clockwise. You must follow the direction of these arrows. You must follow that direction. You must not drive across the marking. You must not do that. Okay. Riders and driving signals. You must always indicate your intention to change direction, reduce speed, or to stop. You indicate clearly to be seen by other road users by using indicators, stoplights, or hand signals. Okay. And then those are your hand signals. Those are the hand signals illustrations. There's a stop, there's a slow down, there's overtake, there's right turn, and left turn for a motorbike. So these are the hand signals illustrations. And then turning at an intersection. Do not turn unless you can do so without obstructing or endangering other traffic. As I always say, safety is important. Obey yellow mandatory direction arrow markings. These are yellow mandatory arrow markings. And then they say you must move in accordance with white marking indicating mandatory direction arrows. So these white ones, they are telling you that ahead you'll get these ones. If you continue, you'll get this yellow one. And the yellow ones, you are mandated. It's mandatory. If this one says turn, you turn. If this one says go straight or turn, you do that. You go straight. You go straight or turn right. You turn right or left. But these ones, they are warning you that you'll get these ones ahead. Okay? So you must move in accordance. Right. And then we get to turning left. Before turning left, indicate in good time and keep as close as possible to the left side of the road. Now, people, it's very important this one, that after turning, you adjust your speed to match safely into the flow of the traffic. You know, sometimes you allow a person to maybe turn to join, but then after turning, the person is then driving very slow. So you must merge safely into the flow of the traffic. Don't cause an obstruction. Now turning right. Before turning right, indicate in good time and keep as close as possible to the right side of the road. And then before turning right, you must yield right of way to any traffic approaching ahead. This is your road. This is where you'll be turning. So your road is divided like this, right? So here, right? So you must keep as right as possible, close as right as possible, so that the vehicles that are approaching from behind, they can use this way to continue going. And then you keep as close as right as possible. Then you allow vehicles that are coming here, you allow them, you give them right of way. Then when there is a chance, then you enter. You can then turn. Okay? Right. Now let's continue. Right. Okay. So they're saying before starting turning into, this is where I'm reading the second last bullet point. Before starting turning into a two-way road, cross the center lines so that you turn into the left side of the road. As you turn, pass left on any traffic island or traffic officer controlling the intersection. So you pass on the left. All right. Then we get to the rules with regards to parking. Always park within a demarcated bay and never on a sidewalk or verge. You must remember that if illegally parked, a fine will be issued or the vehicle can be impounded. So you don't illegally park your vehicle. Emergency, rescue, and construction vehicles or traffic officers are not subject to these rules if they are being used on duty. So rescue vehicles, construction vehicles, emergency vehicles, and traffic officers are not subject to any parking rules if they use their vehicles on duty. You may park on the right side of a one-way road, provided the outer edges of the right side wheels are not more than 450 millimeters into the roadway. Then we come to parking distances guide. No stopping in, on, or closer 9 meters from a pedestrian crossing, 6 meters from a tunnel, a subway, a bridge, a constricted road. Then no parking closer than 5 meters from an intersection, 1.5 meters from a fire hydrant on either side of it, 1 meter from the road edge outside an urban area unless in a demarcated parking bay. Then we have other no parking places. You are not allowed to park your vehicle in any no stopping area, in parking bay reserved for exclusive use of particular class of vehicle, where you would obscure a road sign, on a pavement or sidewalk, across a private or public vehicle entrance, over the actuating mechanism of a traffic light in an urban area, within the outer edges of the curbside wheels more than 450 millimeters into the roadway, in any urban road that is less than 5.5 meters wide unless it is a one-way road, in a traffic island or pedestrian mall or lane. And then these are the exclusive vehicles symbols. A for ambulance, B for buses, L for loading, taxis, firefighters, rickshaws, diplomat, minibuses, SOS for emergency, defense force, and the police. These are exclusive vehicles symbols. Okay, so I will hold it here for today, and then we will continue our next lesson trying to finish up these rules of the road, clearly explained and slowly. Right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do make sure that before you leave, you have liked this video and you have hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much, guys. We'll take it from here next time.